MOA partnership that comes together. Both parties ought to be benefiting, but I think Kenya looks into this thing and it's like, well, but anyway, that's for the good of the federation. But I think besides we seeing Kenyan products into our market, we should just consider at times the East African Federation. The fact that, okay, yeah, I know we have this attachment that this is our country, Uganda, but Kenya is part of us. We are one with Kenya.
And surely we are one, because we have a number of Kenyans here, we have a number of
Ugandans there. So I think that way.
And business is actually moving very well if you look at the two countries.
Yeah,
with the fact that now you don't need even a visa to travel to Kenya, just your national ID. And things go. So I think I need to get my national ID quite immediately for me to go and see what is happening in Kenya. I have struggles over there. And still with the matter of the Kenya-Uganda trade talks, only last month Uganda protested a 79% cut on its scheduled sugar exports to Kenya. This was after the Sugar Directorate in Nairobi said that the traders will only be allowed to import 18,923 tons of sugar from Uganda, down from 90,000 tons that they used to actually export, which is quite a very huge number. That is a huge difference.
By 9.
We were from 90,000 of the tons that Uganda was actually exporting.
Yes.
Now Kenya only allowed its traders to import only 18,000. That is a very huge range, because from 90,000 down to 18,000, it's just like someone here even giving you if you've been on a salary of 90k and someone tells you you're going to receive 18,000, you will be.
That's really down. It comes back, but when you look, it's sugar. You know, it's sugar.
But it's worrying.
It's worrying because it now calls for, now you see that the Ministry of Agriculture has a lot of work to do.
That is where I was telling you, quality. Because you may think we have the plants, we have the plantations, we have the companies, but how about the quality that we are exporting?
No, the only issue, the quality is there. We have the potential to produce the quality. But because we don't have any, most of these people that are dealing in sugar, they are private private-based companies. And when we started privatization, we know that most of them are profit-minded.
So, yeah, so true.
Being profit-minded, there is high level of exploitation.
So should you suggest the government should take over?
Not taking over, but they should have a certain involvement
in the activities that are happening.
And most of them are not actually Ugandans.
Oh, because of the Asian traders that we have. But I think the government has to get some involvement.
That's what I'm trying to say. And of at least 40%, because capitalism is okay. It actually leads to a high development. But the problem is when the people into the system don't have the ability to, I don't know if this could be the right way to use it, self-control.
Okay.
Yes, you like the profits, but remember, man, do you know America? I love America.
You love the US, eh?
You know why?
Someone told me it seems you may have some grassroots from there.
Not really.
Okay.
The thing is, those people, when you look at the men who built America, the likes of Rockefeller, these were private people. Actually, there was no government involvement. But these people, when they were building this nation, Rockefeller came with the oil. The oil industry dominated Standard Oil. Vanderbilt railway lines was Matthew Carnegie, construction, buildings. Then JP Morgan was in the bank system. Henry Ford. But now these guys, those 5 guys, they were private people. But when they started these companies, they were delivering quality. They give people jobs. That's why they are considered to be the men who built America. What if our entrepreneurs get that mindset also? Because, you see, I'm not saying they were so perfect. They had their own mistakes, because when you study that, it's interesting. Maybe you shall talk about
when man starts talking economic history, you have to listen greatly and see where does the revolution of economy come from down to the situation. But anyway,
coming back to what's happening, like what I was saying, that these are private people dealing in sugar, and with the fact that they are owning their companies, they think about profits. But they should have in mind about the economy. Okay, this is what I call solidarity, liberation. patriotism.
Okay.
Because we have the ability. Let me tell you, Uganda, you'll be surprised by the potential Uganda has, to the extent that, because most of these countries which we look up to today, the likes of Singapore, we were above them at some point. Someone may not believe that.
Even the United Arab Emirates here.
Exactly.
They had actually, during the times of Idi Amin, they came for a loan. Every time I listen to that and try to consider the situation that these guys came for a loan.
Yes.
Here, now it is us who are actually running to them to actually promote our business. Something is really worrying there.
So that puts me to a place where I believe we have the potential. We have the potential to make our exports to have that quality that we need. That not just we need, but also that quality that the global market needs. We do have it, but we should consider that at some point, because it's not a today thing. Let's focus on the future of our relationship between Uganda and Kenya. You know.
Okay. Someone has asked me, why don't you go to the US? Because it seems, like I was saying, it seems you have some roots from the US.
Who says that?
And when you mentioned the history of the US economy, and you know, it is the land of opportunities. Right? So,
no, I just mentioned US. Why? Because we just borrow a leaf. Because I believe
from some of those developed countries,
and we try to put. I'm Ugandan. I love my country, and I really, when I see the US, I'm like, why can't Uganda be the US? I'm just trying to draw a leaf, but I'm not the US.
Okay, back to East Africa.
Yes.
You know, the funny part about this situation is that you travel. Some of us have not even boarded a plane, but now we've traveled to the US. We are now back to, we've traveled to Tanzania, Kenya. Now we are back again between Uganda and Kenya. Still on the issue of trade in Kenya, as we are trying to wind up this situation. What needs to be done, Andrew, if you actually look at it in a way of the business perspective? What needs to be done to kill off this situation of
reducing our imports?
Our imports, and we have the exports back there.
Okay, what I may say, maybe many people have said these things. It's not the first time. In my opinion, I thought, what I think the government should have involvement in, like in these agricultural farms that are exporting things. That's in terms of investing mainly in value addition. And another, when we get deals, like let me say trade deals, you find that very few people benefit from these deals. Like there are many farmers out there in the village that don't benefit from, now like people have their cattle there, but they don't really benefit from these trade negotiations. So the government should really come out. They should consider this thing to be, because most of these people who get these deals, who get to export their products, you find that there are few, and the system sometimes there is I don't know what to call it, corruption, something like that. But if we are to be like realistic, there are so many people out there that have products. Recently, that's why AgriCycle partnered with PFCU, the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, because they realized that many products from agriculture get spoiled in sub-Saharan Africa. That by the time they made a deal with PFCU, that's in Uganda, that means we also face the same thing. Products flood on the market there and they get spoiled, and that's wasted. And when it's wasted, that's income lost, that's revenue lost. So everyone, when a trade deal is negotiated, I believe the government should make sure that everyone is involved from Omuntua 1C.
So that is true. But then if you did mention of privatization being good, but at the end of the day being doing some harm as well in terms of this, because if you talk about the farmers who are not benefiting, it's because the owners of the businesses are benefiting more, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I was saying government should take hand in these farms that are doing agro-processing.
All right, if you were wondering what we were discussing about here in our topical discussion, we were talking about the Kenya and Uganda setting November as the month for the sugar and milk trade talks. They have actually postponed the talks to November. That means the upcoming month. So we shall be giving you all the details of what will come up after that dialogue, because between Uganda and Kenya, who are set to take another stab at easing trade tensions between the two countries amid the juntas on whether the two countries would find a lasting breakthrough in terms of trade. Away from that, let's cross over to the international, let's cross over to the international and local entertainment business segment, where Andrew Barija takes us through what is happening from the business in the entertainment world, the movies and the music. Andrew, what do you have for us today?
Yes, what's making headlines today is really, first of all, let me start with Hollywood. Can I say that there could be a strike in Hollywood? And what could be the cause of the strike? Simply because the theater owners, the workers that work in the theaters are raising strikes. They're not really raising strikes, but they are threatening to raise strikes to the extent that it has caused for the association that is responsible for the theaters in the USA to come in partnership with the American Motion Picture to come to find two. They have come with an MOU to cap this situation. Simply because we know that currently movies have not really been doing well concerning theatrical releases, as most of the movie studios actually had resorted to streaming. And you know, when streaming is there, the theaters are going to be left empty because of social distancing. And you know, these people have workers, and these workers are really, they are starving. Interesting. By the time, this has happened in the USA, it has happened in Britain, it has happened in Germany, where the theater owners come up with associations and they are joining together with the movie studios. These people have been, their major concern has been about the pay. Low pay and poor living conditions. The conditions are not really favorable. As for you out there, you could be there. I'm like, oh, I wish I could work for Cinemark. I wish I could work for which other streaming? No, sorry, cinemas. There is Cinemark. There is, I think, Amazon. But people are not really doing good. An average worker at a cinema in the USA previously has been earning about $28 per hour. Can you imagine that? Per hour. When you convert that to Ugandan money, that gives you about, I think, 150 in 1 hour. So currently they are protesting and they are saying that the pay rise should increase from about $20 to about $28 per hour. Now that's part of the MOU, like the features of the MOU. Then another feature, they also raised the issue of actors, like these movies, they should be given breaks. Yes, they should be given the breaks. You know, it's interesting that we watch these movies, but these guys really struggle. They hustle too much to act and deliver this product that we watch on screen. Because these people, they are saying that, okay, like part of the MOU, like besides the increment of salaries and improving the living conditions, they are also looking at the side of the actors, because this is an agreement between the theaters plus the Motion Picture of America, which also, when we talk about motion picture, the Motion Picture of America, it's responsible for everything. You know, all these movie companies, when they produce movies, they have to be approved by the Motion Picture of America. So it's like the giant. Anyways, so they're like, these people should act Monday to Friday, and they should be given 2 days rest. It may not be necessarily Saturday and Sunday as a day of rest, but they're saying at least they should have 2 days, the actors, they should have 2 days of rest. This has been witnessed mainly by those actors that act series. I love series. Series, these are very lengthy dramas. They have so many, they have seasons, episodes. And you find that most of these guys can actually, they are overworked. Yes. One actor one day came out to say, no, not an actor, an actress, sorry. That's Megan Fox. Megan Fox is mainly known for the movies like Transformers. For those of you who have watched Transformers, that was actually, I think, the third part when they were in Egypt. Yes, that part. She came up and said that James Cameron, whenever we're on site, he makes us feel like he's a dictator. We don't race, we can't breathe. So when she made that comment, she lost her role in the movie. Because if you've been following the Transformers series, Megan Fox was nowhere to be seen after making that comment. But I think she had a point. She had a point, because these actors, sometimes they really need a break. And it's one of the concerns that have been raised in the MOU. Leaving Hollywood, and let's cross to the music. Now, songwriters, they're saying that Spotify is not really paying them enough money. But Spotify says, okay, if you songwriters are claiming for money, where is the money going to come from? Now, Amazon, Spotify, Amazon, Google, songwriters have come to say that they don't earn, because statistics show that songwriters earn 20% of the revenue that comes from the streaming sites. I don't know. What do you think, according to you, the artist and the songwriter, who should earn more money? I'm not going to give my opinion. I don't know what you think. But now, this comes as a result whereby these people, they have come up to say that if these people can't pay us, yet they claim to be the biggest, the biggest empires on the planet, and they cannot pay the songwriters, this is horrible. And they have come up to say that one of the person that the National Publishers Association, one of the leaders, has come out to say that these people don't, like, let me say, they don't really mind about the prices of the songs, but they mind about the values of the songs on their stores. Now, the people, the Association of the Writers in the USA now comes up and is saying, okay, if the music wasn't there, then your stores wouldn't be there. Because these people have been planning to cut the budgets. Now, starting the year 2023, 2027, they are trying to, though it's not yet official, but it's in agreement, they are trying to cut down the rates. So meaning if, because we know that these guys have been earning 20%. So if they have been earning 20% now, does it mean after these talks, they're going to be earning like 15%? Now, Spotify, we know Spotify for being one of the leading streaming platforms. Yes, Spotify. Spotify is purely British, not British, but white. I'm not trying to speak this in a sense of racism, but it's mainly known for that. Other platforms we have includes Tidal. Yeah, Tidal is one of my favorites. It's owned by Jay-Z and Damian Marley, the Black Power. Yes, sir. But why Spotify all this? It's because, you know, most of these things when they come up, in most cases they have agendas and they have things they be trying to push in the underground, because currently there is this music that is playing in the USA and people seem to say that it's trash, but you find that it's dominating the Spotify. They call it trap. I don't want to mention it, but trap. And they say that actually these people, these streaming guys, when they want to push us, okay, the mere fact that that music is being trashed. So for them, what they do, they decide to hype it up. You know, that's what they do anyways. But then now the issue comes back that the producers, the writers, because one thing you need to know is that when a song is being streamed on that platform, there is a percentage that goes to the artist. There is a percentage that goes to the writer. There is a percentage that goes to the producer. Yes, but looks like these people are planning to cut the budgets, and Spotify says there is no money to pay you guys. That's it for the entertainment as of this hour.
Aye, okay. You talked about Hollywood going on strike. Some actors were also mentioning of being overworked.
Yeah. And
you see, in most cases, some of us actually see all these movies and you're like, wait a minute, you see 2 movies being released in a period of 2 months' time, and you're like, how are they acted? And you see some faces as well.
Yeah, and you know, most of these guys, what they do, there are these guys who are dudes. Now, like you find that Chris Hemsworth is acting a movie right now, and he gets a phone call from a certain director. Okay. Of course, these people, of course, there is no way you can access him without going through the management, of course.
So true.
But then, even the management, to decide for you as an actor, they have to first consult you. And because they are so money-minded at times, you can find him is acting a series at the same time he's treating a movie.
So is it accepted in terms of the agreement? So that means you can, if at all you're playing your roles right, I guess.
If you're playing your role right.
So you also mentioned about Spotify. People actually claiming, musicians actually claiming that Spotify isn't paying as much money as they expect from it.
Yes.
But for me, as someone who's actually been following up on these platforms, I guess YouTube has been the one that has actually been paying quite some good money.
Quite some good money. Yes, YouTube has been paying money.
But I still want to know how do people make money out of Spotify?
Now, Spotify, this is what happens. If I'm opening up a Spotify account, first of all, they're going to ask for, there is that part where they ask you for your Visa card. And there is that part they ask you to make your account, you monetize your account.
Okay.
Whereby somebody to access, actually, they can't even allow any content free, because even you to open an account,
you need to pay.
There is a subscription fee, and it's renewed
annually.
Annually, yes.
Okay.
There are different packages. There is one for, I think, media. There is annual. There is also monthly. Yes, subscription. Now, when I'm buying a song, automatic, they're going to ask for my Visa card details.
The last few digits, is it?
Yeah.
Or they ask for the Visa card, your account number or the Visa card detail?
Of course, not the private one.
Hey,
but that number of where the money is going to go.
Okay.
So when you click that website, which you're downloading that song, or that website where you're streaming the song, is going to direct. Now, if it's my website, because remember, me too, when I'm putting my website there, I put in those details of mine. So meaning it's going to transfer from the person streaming to my account, the creator. Hey, you can be there and you get a surprise message. You've received $5.
$5. Just
depending
because
on how
of on the stream of this particular song.
Yeah, and I know a rapper in Uganda
who is earning out of it.
For him, what he did, he didn't do Spotify.
Okay.
He put his own website where you can buy his song, and he put a song at amazingly cheap price, $4. That's about 12,000. So he releases
any song that every stream is $4.
Yeah, $4 a stream.
So if you were to actually put it in Ugandan currency,
that's
$4
about
roughly around 15,000.
Yeah, 15,000.
So every stream is 15,000.
Yeah.
So if you get roughly like 10 streams a day, 150,000
comes in your pocket.
Yeah.
And you know,
some good money. Though Ugandans are not good at streaming, I would
but
suggest.
they're getting there, because they're going to be forced to get to that trend. Because I see, and you know, my advice to the Ugandans out there, one of the ways you can make money is you may not really rely so much on the local people, you know, because streaming, you are digital. But if you have connections abroad, now me, I interact with musicians too much, most especially rappers. I love rappers. And this guy is amazing how they hustle out their things. This guy makes an album. He makes copies, physical copies and digital copies. Okay. So he's in the UK. So as he moves around, he's making friends. He's like, hey, by the way, I have my album here. Can I give you a physical copy, a digital copy? Okay, give me a digital. Okay, go to this website, put in a credit card. Because for them, that's normal.
Oh, so true.
That's normal. It's buying, using. That's why they have iPhones. Because you know iPhone, you can't get something for free. So this guy makes money like that. He gives, because pounds, British, I think those are British pounds. You find that he's going to give you an album at £3. How much is that?
If you look at £3 is around 4.2, because when I did earlier, it's around 4,200 there.
4,200. So
it would be around
15 still, like
16.
16. Oh, you see that?
15 to 16 varies.
Exactly. And in most cases, physical copies seem to be a bit cheaper, because sometimes you are in direct contact with a person distributing. So it's that thing, oh, give me a discount. You may want, but online, there is no way they're going to meet you and they tell, give me a discount online. It's automatic. They deduct the money straight away.
All right, speaking entertainment business, Andrew Berige is definitely here to take you through and drive your business in that angle. So if you're in the entertainment world, more of these details and the news will be coming your way from the comfort of wherever you're catching the show from. This is Smart Men's Business. Away from that, coming up shortly, we have sports business. More and more from the action in the Champions League and the details from the Federation of Uganda Football Association. Coming up on your
Smart 24, driving business. Smart 24, driving business.
All right, kicking it away with the kickoff in the sports business. That is the way to give you an introduction of what is actually making way in terms of sports business. My name is Jerome Posoko. That's just a quick reminder as well. And definitely there you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Jerome Posoko. Let's start off from the local scene in terms of sport. The Uganda Cranes head coach Milton Mitchell Sergejovic Serunjoji is back in the news. And this time around, not quite good news. Coach Milton Mitchell Sergejovic has been convicted on 2 accounts of sexual assault in the Gebha Regional Court on Tuesday. Now Mitchell, who has been in and out of court in Gebha on the charge of sexual harassment in South Africa, was handed a 3-year jail term suspended for 5 years. He, however, has been granted a leave to appeal for the conviction. So there is no room for his arrest as of now, but there is room for suspension as far as the law is concerned. He, however, has been granted to leave to appeal the conviction. So I think he will not be making his way back to South Africa anytime sooner with this type of suspension that has actually come up. 5 years of suspension. The Serbian coach, by the time he was in charge of Zambia national football team, was accused by a 39-year-old woman of touching her buttocks and making inappropriate